And welcome back to another Pen Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following along. Today we're going to look at another order from Birmingham Pen Company. I've mentioned before how Nick has great sales, and I get his emails, and when I see something I find interesting, I pop over to the website and check it out. And I did make an order, and we'll take a look at it shortly, but it's always nice to get a personalized note signed by Nick, and you get a little paper clip, which we know is made out of steel. So what did I get? Well, this is what I got. Pen came in this little velvet pouch. Always nice to get something like that. And this is a Knox pen. I've gotten other Knox pens, so I'm familiar with them. They're heavy. They're made out of metal. I like the color, very clean color. And metal finial at top and bottom. Pop-off cap, which is always nice. And we see the real reason why I bought it. This is a Knox oblique double broad nib. But wait, there's more. With Nick's sale, you also got another nib free, so I got an oblique broad, a number 5. Comes in this really nice little plastic tube, keeps the nib secure. And I always like to take advantage of Nick's ink sales, so this was a $7 bottle of ink, 60 milliliters Imperial Blue, and as if you watch some of my videos, it made it into my Fullerton 017 pen. So we're going to clean this puppy out, ink it up. You know, it's a standard cartridge converter. It's a little squeaky unscrewing it. I mean, this is not a high-end pen, and I don't think it purports to be one. But I bought it for the nib. So, and I got the perfect ink, I think, to put in this nib, and let's hope it performs to my expectations. This is the ink I thought about immediately for this pen. In fact, I think I may have even bought this ink thinking of the pen, because I knew the pen was on its way to me. I just wanted a broad, nice wet nib to lay down this ink. So let's take a look at some of the indicators. Here's my color card. And yes, it's in the orange-brown family. Yeah, not much sheen, but a little bit of shading there. I did 2 chromatographies because the first one, I didn't put as much ink down as I did on the second one, so therefore they came out a little different, but not substantially different. It's a pretty pure color. There's a little tinge of kind of gray-blue at the very top, but other than that, it's a pretty consistent honey color. And I also recorded it in my ink swatch log, which you may have seen in the video I did on the Pen Thing ink swatch log. So how does the Knox Galileo size up? Here's a Pilot Metropolitan. I would say it's slightly bigger than that, also slightly heavier than that. Here we have a Pen BBS 308, and it's slightly smaller than that. And just for reference, we have a Lamy All-Star. So here they are posted, and the Galileo requires a little bit of effort to post the cap, but once you do, it's extremely secure. And again, it's slightly larger than the Pilot Metropolitan. This section is similar in size. You know, both have about number 5 nibs. The Galileo number 5 is more of a, obviously a standard number 5 based on German sizing. And the Pilot Metropolitan, I would say, is a sub number 5. It's a standard number 6 nib. This is a full win that I put into my Pen BBS. I swap out a lot of nibs in my Pen BBS now, and I have a number of them to try. And of course, here for reference is the Lamy Safari, which is obviously the largest pen posted, but it also has the longest section, but certainly one that's sculptured, and you need to enjoy that. Obviously, from my viewpoint, the 308 has almost a perfect size section on it. This pen is usable in the hand, unposted. And, you know, as I get to use it more, it's about average in weight. We'll give you those weights. We'll give you the measurements of the sections so you can put them in perspective. It does post securely, but you need to put a little pressure on it, because if you don't, it'll be loose. And I think the cap is kind of back weights the pen. To me, it's more comfortable, even though it's a little bit lighter, to work with it unposted. I think you can already gather I really love this ink and nib combination. Sometimes you visualize how things should work, and this works great. I have to be honest, I did some work on the nib. Like, I pulled the whole thing apart. It pulls out very easily. Cleaned it off. There's some indentations within this section, so the nib and feed go in a certain way, and I just had difficulty just making everything line up. I say it's my fault. I also think the nib had a little bit of baby's bottom, and maybe some other pens have had that, so I did do some slight grinding. I used a nail emery board to do that, and now the pen writes consistently. What happened before I did the work was it would just skip a lot. It would be inconsistent. So now I'm very happy with it. So it's time for a rating. And I'm going to give it a 7.9. And 2 checks for the nib, but you know, the rating also has to pretty much be the pen. So let's go down the details. For design, it's going to get 1 check. There's nothing unique about the design. It's very Chinese in design. Engineering gets 1 check. Nothing fancy there. Build gets 1 check. You know, the threads are a little bit rougher than I'd like. And again, it's an $8 pen with 2 nibs. So writing gets 3 checks. And I'm taking into account that that was after a little bit of work, but then I kind of blame myself for the things that I did. I think the look gets 2 checks because it's definitely a decent looking pen. And for value, it's going to get 3 checks. So, and that to me ended up with the 7.9 overall ranking or rating. So we reached the end of the video. I did a check on the Birmingham Pen site, and Nick's no longer giving out a free nib, so that offer has expired. But these pens are still $8, so you get a Knox nib and a decent pen for $8. So for that, it's a great deal. His loose nibs are also selling out. He's sold out of all of his Nemosine pens, so I should have got this video out earlier, but sometimes things just get backlogged. So we've reached the end now of this video, so thank you for watching. I hope you have great pen and ink experiences and find that combination that really floats your boat and encourages you to put some thoughts on paper. Share with others and share with yourself later. Did I write that? So we're going to say this is the end of this video. There will be more to follow. So enjoy your writing, enjoy your life, have fun.